Our next guest is here to spill the beans about one of America's favorite beverages. Jeff Givens from Southern Skies Coffee is here to show us how to make the perfect cup of coffee. And we want to thank pastry chef David Guas for the dessert. We have some great heavenly hash and pecan, the pralines, New Orleans treat. So again, David, thank you very much. Jeff, good to have you here.
Good morning.
We said one of the popular beverages. Just how popular is the coffee?
Well, coffee is the number 2 traded commodity in the world, and it's what gets us going in the morning.
All right, so getting us going, what are the essential elements of the perfect cup of coffee? Where do we start?
Well, one thing that's overlooked a lot of times is the water. I mean, coffee is 98% water. So if you have tap water with off taste, it's going to affect the cup. So you want to start with filtered water or bottled water.
Okay, so we start with the great cup of water. What about temperature of the water?
Well, you're going to want to have it right off the boil. The downfall of most home coffee machines is that they don't get the temperature hot enough of the water, so it doesn't extract all those wonderful flavors and compounds out of the coffee.
All right, we've got the beans here. Now, this has got to be essential. What's the most important thing of chicken soup? Chicken, coffee, the coffee
That's
beans.
right. Well, coffee is obviously the most important part of it. The thing you want to look out for with coffee is you want to use a local roaster if possible, because freshness is the most important thing. I kind of think of it something like bread or tomatoes. You want to use fresh and local if possible.
All right, so where do we go from getting the freshest, best bean?
Well, you start with your fresh beans, and then another essential thing is you want to grind fresh. Because once you grind your coffee, the aromas start to dissipate almost immediately. So grinding fresh right before you're brewing is very essential. So essentially what you want to do is take your fresh ground coffee.
All right.
And I use a little Melita pour-over filter. It's very inexpensive, and it doesn't require a lot of maintenance or anything.
All right, so you don't have to get expensive paper filters or anything like that.
Very simple. It can be found at any local store. And as I pour this almost boiling water over the coffee, one thing you want to notice is it does foam up a lot. And that's an indicator of freshness. That's the carbon dioxide that's coming out of the coffee.
Wow.
So it foams up, and if you take a coffee that's not fresh and it's stale, it's going to just lie there in the filter. So take a look at your coffee as you're brewing it.
Now, how much does the person at home need to know about this? I was reading and it talked about acidity, and it talked about body, and it talked about flavor. Besides seeing it bubble up and knowing that it's fresh, do I have to know all of that?
You really don't have to know a lot. Basically, let your tongue be your guide. If you enjoy the cup, go ahead. But keep an open mind and try different coffees, because as many places there are in the world that grow coffee, they all grow. The taste is always different from every place.
So we can't say there's the best bean, because every country, every continent has its own special.
It's a matter of opinion. Everybody has their own taste, and sometimes your taste will change, and depending on which food that you pair the coffee up with, it'll depend on the coffee that you use.
All right, once we get to this stage and it drains out and whatever, and we're almost ready to taste that cup of coffee, I'm basically a person who has a lot of milk and a little bit of coffee. Am I ruining the whole coffee thing? Yes. Yes.
Not really. If you wish to add that to your coffee, feel free to do that. There's nothing wrong with that. However, I say give the coffee a chance to shine, to sing. Great coffees can stand alone without the addition of anything extra. And if you just keep an open mind and try it, it'll be great.
I like that. Give the coffee a chance to shine and sing. Now, with Southern Skies, we can't go there and get a great cup of coffee, because that's not what your business is about, is it?
We do mainly wholesale roasting. However, we are getting our shopping cart online set up. It's not set up right now, but soon we'll be able to serve the customers that way, as well as the farmers market in Olding.
All right, Jeff, thank you for being with us. And, of course, you know what happens when we come back. We're going to sample a really good cup of coffee.